What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there today. We talk about our top 20 quarterbacks here for Week 13 fantasy football. And quarterback's been a position that's been stocked with a lot of safe options for a couple years now, right? Well, all of a sudden here in the end of 2020, some of our safer guys that we've come to, really rely on a weekly basis starting to let us down a little bit. So what do we do here for Week 13? It's a critical week, right? Some of you already into the fantasy playoffs, trying to win those last couple matchups, trying to get to the fantasy playoffs. We got to make sure we make some safer decisions here this week. Let's break down the top 20 quarterbacks starting at number 20 with Andy Dalton of the Dallas Cowboys. A difficult matchup on paper going up against the Baltimore Ravens, but Baltimore is banged up to say the least. Plus, we've seen a little bit of a ceiling as of late from Andy Dalton, and we know that he's got plenty of weapons to throw it to. Is he an automatic must start? No, but he has that potential. Got him right here at number 20. Number 19 is Matt Ryan. Julio Jones is still not practicing, and that is a problem because Matt Ryan without Julio Jones is just an average quarterback to say the least, and his ceiling basically disappears. As of right now, not sounding good for Julio Jones. That's why I got Matt Ryan, 19. Number 18 is Baker Mayfield, Cleveland Browns, in a matchup against the Tennessee Titans, a Titans offense in which we've seen score the ball at will at times with the likes of A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry. And Baker Mayfield really hasn't had to have a ceiling much this year, right? Because they rely so much on the running game. Well, in this game, we could see a little bit more Kareem Hunt in the passing game. Plus, we saw the connection pick up with Jarvis Landry last week. Got Baker penciled in right here at number 18 as a safer floor play option, just not a huge ceiling. Number 17, Carson Wentz of the Philadelphia Eagles, and you just never know which Carson Wentz you're going to get, right? He's going to Green Bay to face the Packers. Their secondary is healthy now in Green Bay with Jair Alexander and Kevin King. That could cause problems for Carson Wentz, and it's just the inconsistencies. Overall, for the season, he's not doing bad. It's just this offense in times at Philly is absolutely horrible. For right now, got him at 17. He's just hard to trust. Number 16, Jared Goff, Los Angeles Rams, going up against the Arizona Cardinals. If you've noticed here as of late, the Rams offense just looks better when they dedicate themselves to throwing the football. Once they start to get cute in the running game, it's when they start to stall out on drives. In a matchup this week against Arizona, a team in which they should throw a lot easier against than run against, I like Jared Goff as a decent quarterback too. Got him right here at number 16. Number 15, last week's disappointment, Derek Carr, Las Vegas Raiders. He's just got a great matchup going up against the Jets. Yeah, sure, he should have had a great matchup last week against the Falcons, and that didn't quite work out so well. And it's really caused a lot of people to lose faith in Derek Carr and the Raiders as a whole. For right now, though, he's not a horrible start. He's a mid-quarterback too in a great matchup, and he's shown stability throughout the majority of the season prior to last week. So, got Derek Carr sitting right here at number 15. Number 14 is Phillip Rivers, Indianapolis Colts. A great matchup going up against the Houston Texans, a Texans team who will not have Bradley Roby in the secondary, which is a huge loss for that defense, but a huge gain for Phillip Rivers. We've seen him start to utilize T.Y. Hilton a little bit more. We already know Michael Pittman can put up big numbers. That raises the ceiling, plus the floor has been fairly safe over the past couple weeks. Got Phillip Rivers right now, number 14. Number 13, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Miami Dolphins, going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. A great matchup for Fitz, and it doesn't sound like we're going to see Tua once again. He's still limited in practice, but that's fine. Ryan Fitzpatrick just goes out there and puts up fantasy points, on average scoring right around 20 fantasy points a game. He's been a pleasant surprise for a lot of people this year, and you can continue to plug him in if you need him. Got him at number 13. Number 12, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings, going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now he gets Adam Thielen back this week. He put up great numbers last week, and now he gets back arguably one of the best wide receivers in football in a great matchup going against Jacksonville. I like me some Kirk Cousins, got him at number 12. Number 11, Big Ben Roethlisberger, Pittsburgh Steelers, going up against the Washington football team Monday night. And here's the deal. With Pittsburgh, they're going to throw the ball, right? We saw Ben throw the ball over 50 times last week. His numbers would have been even better had there not been some bad drops, especially by Deontay Johnson in that ball game. But with Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, James Washington, Chase Claypool, they have so many options in the passing game. A big play is bound to happen at some point, which really gives him that safe floor on a weekly basis with a super high ceiling. In a home game, gotta love Big Ben, got him at 11. Number 10, Taysom Hill, New Orleans Saints, going up against the Atlanta Falcons, a Falcons defense which looked great last week against the Las Vegas Raiders, but we saw Hill against this same defense just a couple weeks ago, and he finishes a top 5 quarterback in fantasy football. It's that rushing upside that makes his floor a lot safer. He's averaging over 20 points a game in his 2 starts, and he's somebody who I can basically pencil in as a safe top 10 quarterback on a weekly basis. Got him sitting right here, number 10. Number 9, Ryan Tannehill, Tennessee Titans, going up against the Cleveland Browns, a Cleveland Browns secondary which is beat up, which gives the opportunity for Ryan Tannehill to have an even bigger game. Now, A.J. Brown limited in practices still. That's kind of become a normal occurrence, and he looks fine on Sundays. Going to fire him up once again because we're also hearing they want to involve Derrick Henry more in the passing game, which we would love to see. That would really help solidify that floor on a weekly basis for Ryan Tannehill. Got him at number 9. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, going up against the Dallas Cowboys, Tuesday Night Football. Still questionable, right? It sounds like Lamar is going to be back in time for this game, but it's not 100% for sure as of yet. Lamar's floor sits right around 18 fantasy points a game due to the rushing upside that he has. If he could really turn it on the passing game, that's where we start to see the ceiling. We just haven't seen it consistently this week. Hopefully we get back on track here late in the season here in 2020. But for right now, Lamar Jackson still a solid quarterback 1 sitting at number 8. Number 7, Deshaun Watson, Houston Texans. Would love to put him higher, but with no Will Fuller and a potentially difficult matchup going up against the Indianapolis Colts, we have to temper expectations slightly. Can Brandon Cooks just come in and take over that lead dog role? We'll have to wait and find out. Still love Deshaun Watson in the way that he's playing. He's one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. Got him at number 7. Number 6 is Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals, with a matchup here this week going up against the Los Angeles Rams. Not an easy matchup whatsoever. And Kyler's starting to drop down the rankings ever so slightly week after week because of the injury to his shoulder. It's really limiting his rushing upside because they're trying to limit the amount of hits he gets on that shoulder. And now it's starting to affect the floor here just a little bit. He's still a solid quarterback 1 in a matchup in which he can go out and produce in. If the shoulder gets better, expect the running numbers to come back. Got Kyler Murray, number 6. Number 5, Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers, going up against the New England Patriots, a defense which isn't what it was last year, right? And we can't expect Justin Herbert to check down to Austin Eckler 14 times a game because that really limited his ceiling last week. He still has Mike Williams, still has Keenan Allen, still loves himself some Hunter Henry, and the ceiling is absolutely huge with this kid. Touchdowns are aplenty. Got him right here, number 5. Number 4, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, going up against the San Francisco 49ers, Monday Night Football. Now, losing John Brown in this offense does hurt. It really does. Hopefully, Gabriel Davis can take a step forward in this offense, and we really don't see much of a loss of production as far as Josh Allen goes. We know the rushing upside is there. We know Stephon Diggs is a big play waiting to happen. Even though it's not the greatest of matchups, still got Josh Allen sitting right here, number 4. Number 3, Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packers, going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, it's really hard to say anything negative about Aaron Rodgers, but the positives just keep coming. It's almost every week that you can expect a big day from Devontae Adams, but now there's a chance that Darius Slay doesn't play this week. He's already limited in missing practices. If that's the case, the ceiling's going to go up even further, and maybe MVS gets back in good graces here this week. Got Aaron Rodgers sitting at number 3. Number 2, Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks, with a matchup here this week going up against the New York Giants, and his numbers have kind of fallen off here as of late, right? I mean, the interceptions have decreased, which is great, but so have the touchdowns, which is not great. But don't forget, there's been a couple bad drops by DK Metcalf that really could have affected his bottom line huge for Russell Wilson. He's still moving the ball down the field with success, and there's really no reason to jump off the bandwagon just yet. Got Russell Wilson at number 2. Which means number 1 is Patrick Mahomes, which shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, right? Over 30 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions on the year. An offense which is just basically saying, we really don't care about running that much. We're just going to throw the ball as much as we want to because nobody can stop it. He's putting up ridiculous numbers here over the past few weeks. No reason for me to not have Patrick Mahomes as my number 1 quarterback here in Week 13. All right, those are my top 20 quarterbacks here for Week 13 fantasy football. Hopefully I was able to help, settle some of your lineup decisions. I know there's a few underperforming studs out there right now that are causing a lot of gray hairs, especially heading in to the fantasy playoffs. But if you have further questions, make sure you ask them down below. The community is always involved. Plus, our Saturday night live stream is going to be happening at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you have questions, hop into the live stream. We answer as many fantasy football questions as we possibly can on a nightly basis. We're usually there for about 2 hours or so just answering fantasy football questions. So if you haven't checked that out yet, make sure you do. Hopefully you guys had a great week, and we'll talk to you later.